I don't. You can not answer this, Kevin, and we can move on and go to something else. But I do want to ask you about the DiggBar.
Sure.
Now, originally there was some criticism. In fact, this was one of the things that the last time you were on, you said we're going to launch it, and I thought actually a brilliant idea to do a URL shortening service. Got some criticism because it was framing, but you changed that. And now, according to Jason Kincaid in today's TechCrunch, which I always take with a grain of salt, it says that you've changed it. He says the change is a subtle one, will have major implications. Typically, when you use a link shortening service, anyone who clicks on your shortened link will be sent directly to the original article without a landing page. Now, the DiggBar apparently sends you to Digg.com. Is that true?
That's a good question.
I've been gone
for 2 weeks, so I don't know what got pushed, what code got pushed, and how it functions. But my last understanding is that what we wanted to do is have it so that if you click on a Digg URL, it takes you to the Digg story so that you can dig it.
Right.
And just rather than providing a short URL service that just forwards, does redirection, we would just do a URL service just for Digg articles, just like the same way that TechCrunch does, like TechCrunch/85374.
Right.
If you go to that, you're not going to go to some other site. You're going to go to TechCrunch. That's the story.
So you're backing off on the original idea, which was a general URL shortening service, to say really this is really the Digg.
This is just if you see one of these links, it's going to take you to a Digg story. But don't. I'm not sure if that's what's been pushed yet.
Right.
I haven't been to the office in 2 weeks, so that was. Where were we
I
going
think that
this?
makes sense to me, and I understand the reasoning to do that. That's where your revenue comes from. If you link just to the story, you don't get the page view.
Well, it's weird. We've had this hybrid system for a long time where some of the URLs have gone out just directly to the source. Another URL will go out and draw the bar if you're a logged-in user. And then we also had it where it would take you directly to the permalink page if it was from Twitter. And the reason for that is because we were sending out all of these links through our. We have this feed on Twitter. It's at Digg _2000, or maybe it's all Digg 2000, where it's any story that's received 2,000 digs goes out, and that has several 100,000 followers on it.
That's good. I'm going to follow that. That's great.
Yeah, it's just like the best of the best stuff, right? And so we had that feed, and it's been getting really popular. But the problem that we had is that we were sending all the people directly to the source, and they didn't know how to dig the article. And they're like, well, what if I want to go back and dig it? So we made those URLs just go to the permalink page, but then people were confused because those ones were going to the permalink, other ones were not, and getting the toolbar. And so we were like, okay, we need to make this simple and just make it do one thing all the time, right? So it's a unified experience for everyone.
Now I'm looking, you have 12 Digg pages on
those
Twitter.
Those are for the different categories.
Digg images, world news, environment, technology, software. So you could follow, if I were interested, as I am, Digg Technology News, I just follow that. And is that what does that duplicate?
So anytime a story gets promoted in technology on Digg, it will come into your Twitter feed if you're following it.
Cool.
The Digg 2000 is by far the most popular, though. That's just stories that have received 2,000 or more digs,
which is huge.
Yeah,
that means those are the biggest stories.
That's only going to be maybe 5 stories a day or something like that. So it's just the best of the best.
And when I click that link, it brings it to the Digg page, which makes sense because I'm logged into Digg, and that way, if I read it, I can dig it.
Right, exactly. Otherwise, you wouldn't know how to get to the article to dig it.
And to be fair, that's the ad page. That's where the revenue is.
That's how we make money.
Yeah.
Got to pay the bills.
Yeah. No, I think that seems logical. I don't think that there's a reason to complain about that. It's just a change, I guess. So, and anytime, this is always the case, you make a change, some people are going to get upset.
Yeah, you just get, the funny thing is I used to get really upset about that, but at the end of the day, it's like, I don't know, you have to evolve and make changes and not worry about every single person every time. Like, you can't worry about what the masses are always going to say. You just have to do what's right for your long-term vision, if that makes sense, and what's going to be right for like the consumer so it makes sense to everyone down the road. Because right now, the way we had it was completely broken where some people were getting confused in certain areas.
No, it was broken. I didn't get what was going to happen. I couldn't predict what was going to happen.
Yeah, and that's a bad thing.
Yeah.
You don't ever want to have a situation like that. So,
but I'm a little jet lagged, so.
As am I.
Oh, I never liked the social media bars. I didn't really
No.
like the DiggBar. I kind of
I don't want
sided with-
framing. I don't want framing.
No,
at all.
right.
Yeah.
John Gruber of Daring Fireball was most scathing about the DiggBar and in its initial incarnation.
I'm
But
getting kind of fed up with shortened URLs in general, which is why I kind of prefer if it's a Digg URL it goes to Digg, then I know that, or a TechCrunch
right,
URL.
you know what you're dealing with, right?
Because now, I mean, I use Bitly, but the problem is you don't know what you're going to get, and especially nowadays that the web is so dangerous, clicking on links without knowing where you're going is just it's a bad idea.